that's one or not. Don't know. That could be another one. But I'm not confident. When they're so tiny like this, it can be very difficult.
Yeah, well, lichens grow or should grow just about everywhere on land. Tops of mountains, in the hottest deserts, in the rainforest, and pretty much anywhere you can imagine, there should be lichens and they should be abundant. They can become highly adapted potentially to a place, a very specific place where they're living. But a lichen is just these two things that come together to form something that looks absolutely nothing like the two constituent parts. In this case, it's a fungus and an alga. Fungus sort of provides the house in which the alga lives, and the alga provides nutrition. Imagine a planet that doesn't look like the planet does today. It doesn't have plants, it doesn't have animals, it's probably just bare rock with, some scuzz on the ground. So it's probably pretty hostile to life, which at that time would mostly have been living in the oceans or in water. And so conceptually to me, I just think of lichens as being sort of like the logical thing that would happen if you had a fungus and an alga come out of the water and then just try to survive on land. Like, to me, of course. It's crazy that it didn't happen more often.
We should go check out this tree right here first. Oh, there's some stuff here. This one's actually been eaten a little bit. I don't know if you can really see that.
By what do you think?
Snails mostly in the city. I actually see that a lot. Snails and slugs.
Right.
They're voracious grazers of lichens. There's a few more species here. This is definitely more what I was thinking. There's a fair number of individuals here. We call them thalli, the body of the lichen. So it loves to live on rocks. It's also one of the most abundant species in New York. We're working on this lichen book, The Lichens of New York City, to provide a guide for non-scientists. And I've been going out with my camera and taking photos of pretty much every lichen that I find that is new looking. This being Cladonia rayi, we hadn't seen it in the city itself until about a year ago when I was just starting this Lichens of New York City cataloging project.
So they used to grow everywhere. Lichens used to be common and abundant, and we know that because of natural history collections that exist all over this country and the world. Fish, animals, plants, lichens. People would go out and preserve those. Lichen conservation is something that is greatly needed. Lichens are known to be incredibly important in land-based ecosystems. They serve as food for things, they're involved in nutrients, and many animals eat them, especially little animals that form the basis of the food chain. They're important in nutrient cycling, things like that. They're important in humidity regulation and temperature regulation in natural, well, and in most environments. That's an area where there's a tremendous need for study right now, for scientific study, to really sort of quantify and understand what it means to not have lichens in the many areas where we don't have them now. And this was curated and distributed by Philip Hepp from 1867. There was this really strong tradition historically of binding your specimens together into books. You can read here his notes. So this says, on trees, common. Trees, common. On rocks in the Blue Mountains of New Jersey.
Yeah.
I've never seen these in New Jersey.
Right.
They're gone, more or less. I mean, they might survive somewhere, but they certainly aren't common anymore. This one is still pretty common in southern New Jersey. Where's the big one? There was a period during industrialization when the air quality went downhill, and that also coincided with sort of large-scale destruction of the natural landscape in a lot of places. And that pretty much wiped out all the lichens in a lot of different places. But with the Clean Air Act, in the last 20 to 30 years, the lichens started to come back. There's been a really perceptible increase in the growth of lichens, both in abundance and diversity, in places like New York City or London or all over the world in urban areas where air quality has improved. But then, moving forward, we have to think about ways that we could restore various areas to deal with changing climate. A lot of the places that are where the lichens grow now most abundantly, or where a lot of the rare species are now, also happen to be the places that are projected to be most impacted by things like climate change. As we adapt to the changing world around us, we're probably going to be forced to make hard decisions about how we use the remaining natural areas that are left.